Good morning, everyone. My name is Shanita Jones, and I am from the Placer County Child Abuse Prevention Council. Thank you all for joining us this morning. This is part two of our three-part marketing webinar series or social media marketing webinar series. I'd like to thank Strategies TA for hosting this series, and I'd like to introduce our presenters, Erica Villarreal and Deja Wright from the San Joaquin County Child Abuse Prevention Council. If you have any questions, please direct them to the chat, and we will direct your questions to our two presenters today. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us today. So today we're gonna, let me see. Oh, here we go. A little bit about us. We are the Child Abuse Prevention Council of San Joaquin County. And we love empowering families with resources, parenting support, and prevention strategies. And we have a little over 200 employees. We're located in downtown Stockton. And joining me today is Deja Wright, my talented teammate. Together, we're dedicated to making a big impact through creative campaigns, powerful storytelling, and meaningful community connections.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi, Deja. Our goal today is to use targeted messaging to connect with our diverse community. We want to leverage multiple platforms, social media, email, events to expand reach, incorporate visually compelling graphics and videos to capture attention, and kind of highlight success stories and impact to engage emotions and inspire action. So these are just kind of the topics that we're going to go over, how we do that within our agency, and hopefully get some tips along the way. Excuse me, everyone, my allergies are just going crazy today. All right, so let's get into it. The role of design in nonprofit marketing. So logos, colors, typography that reflect trust and care. This is our logo. I kind of broke it down into our color scheme, and that's what you're gonna sort of see throughout our presentation today is just how our everything formulates in uniformity within our color scheme. To illustrate that, we have one of our flyers that is for our pinwheels prevention program that we do. So as you can see, it is very CAPC centric. We have our branding all throughout these flyers. It's joined with different types of composition and graphics. So we'll get a little bit more into detail of those as well. It should be used consistently. So your logo should be used consistently throughout all platforms. We want to ensure our logo size, placement, and variations remained aligned with all of our brand guidelines, okay? So we really want to make sure that we are maintaining consistency across all social media flyers, social media, flyers, and posts. Slide. And everyone, it's so wonderful that we have success stories. So we want to use visuals to inspire action. We want to get the audience involved, okay? So testimonials, impact graphics, things like that. Really keep those in mind with our success stories, with our emotional storytelling throughout our design. Please keep in mind to select images that create empathy and urgency. Okay, so we're just going to get into a couple of general flyer tips now. Obviously, we're going to use a bold font for headlines just to grab the attention, okay? Then we're going to get into like a readable sans serif font for body text. I'll go into what serif versus sans serif means in fonts in a little bit. And then we're going to limit to 2 to 3 fonts max. And I'm going to go ahead and show you an example of what we have here. Going back to our previous flyers, this is our main flyer. It's one of 2 parts, but just to let you know that we did use two fonts. This is our header. This is going to grab the attention. April's National of Child Abuse Prevention Month. And then this is the body text. You'll see that we are going ahead and using only two fonts just to not make it too crazy, too busy. We do have some elements, and we do have some captivating images here of children learning and wanting to learn. So that's just, and obviously our brand is all throughout. So you could see the color scheme, you could see how it's laid out. It's very easy to read. This is what we're looking for. All right, so sans serif versus serif font. Sans serif means sans without, so without the little lines at the top and bottom of the letters. These are more specifically what you want to use. This is what's accessible for everyone and anyone. So Arial, Helvetica, Verdana, you could see specifically how they are very, very similar, but it just depends on what you're using it for and who your audience is. Then we're going to get into the serif fonts. These are just the general type of ones. So we have our Times New Roman, Georgia, and Garamond. Okay, so now we're going to get into the professional theme ones. These are the fonts that we have chosen for you today. These are very, very common fonts, but when used appropriately, typography becomes sort of a design aspect. So think of it that way as well. Even if you don't have too many things as far as images or graphics, you could always make something look nice and clean with using typography, okay? Do not be afraid to step outside of the box and just kind of gather words and phrases to make your design pop. And then we're going to obviously go into fun and playful, because who doesn't love fun and playful? So these are just a couple of those samples. And then elegant and sophisticated. Again, you're going to know your audience to whatever flyer you want to create. This is knowing your audience with that. When dealing with your flyers, graphics, and things like that, it's always important to maintain how big the heading is versus the body text. So this this illustrates our heading up here. So our marketing development team, and then you're going to go into the body. So that's just how it looks when it's combined. And this is just a really great sample of when you're receiving a flyer, how easy it is to read, how easy on the eyes it is. So black text on white background is always going to work the best. But depending on how your logo is and the placement, just really keep it simple and then add in as you go along to see how it develops. And I've also illustrated, just in case you're working on a call to action, if you'd like to put in a link, it's always best to keep it a different color so that people know how to click onto the link. Usually when you're going into a call to action online on a website or something like that, when your pointer hits the link, it'll go ahead and shoot into like a little hand, and then they'll know to click there. Or you can easily put a little click here for more information type of thing. And that brings us to social media marketing for nonprofits. These are the best platforms for community engagement. So we're going to get into these a little bit more in detail. And please do familiarize yourself with these icons. So we have Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And this is just kind of like a little key to guide you what the tone is, what the best content is, and the visual stylings that we're going to be showing you how we do it on our end so that you can kind of get a feel for what it is. Okay, so Facebook, here we go. Engagement with a mix of visuals and informative content. Our primary focus with Facebook is engagement. The design style can have more text than Instagram and strong visuals, okay? So you want to focus on the clear call to action buttons, kind of like, think of like learn more, donate, sign up. These are just some examples of some Facebook posts that we have on our platform right now. So we have our St. Patrick's Day. You could clearly see the pictures and you see the caption on top. And it does differ from our Instagram and LinkedIn, which we're going to be illustrating in a little bit as well. And just to give you some more insight, this is the best size images for Facebook. So when we're talking about the feed posts, that means our feed is what everyone sees on a day-to-day basis. So landscape is going to work very well for Facebook. Then we're going to get into the event cover, which is kind of like when you open up a page and you see the background graphics. This is what's called the cover. So the background cover, and then our stories, that kind of coincides with like the day-to-day 24-hour posts. So those stories only last for 24 hours. And it's kind of cool because you could go ahead and see who's viewing your stories. And this is both on Facebook and on Instagram. So you want to keep these in mind as well. It's very easy to generate posts and graphics with these pixels in mind. And onto our Instagram. So our primary focus here is eye-catching visuals. We want to kind of focus on storytelling through images and videos. We can kind of have a little bit of both on this platform. The design style is very high quality, very polished. Think more artistic, visually engaging, minimal text. So when we were dealing with Facebook, that has more of the text, but Instagram is more visual. Keep that in mind as well. They prefer imagery over word-heavy posts, and then really bold colors and trending kind of like typography. Those really stand out and are eye-catching for that. And just to kind of go a little bit more into what our page looks like, this is how you're going to see it when you're on the Instagram landing page for our homepage. So we just stuck a little screenshot in there. You could see that there's kind of like just mixtures of video and of pictures. So right here, when you see this little icon, that means that this is a video. And again, we wanted to point out the pixels. So these are the feed post pixels. It's either a square or it's kind of elongated as well. Now that the Meta are doing kind of a little bit of changes now. So it's usually like a square, but you could do a landscape as well, or horizontal, excuse me. And then stories and reels, these are the pixels for that. And we always want to keep full screen vertical. And now into LinkedIn. So we're going to get into more of a professional, business oriented, think of hiring, things like that, formal education. We want more of like thought leadership, industry insights, and networking. This is our LinkedIn platform. The design style here is more structured and professional, less flashy than Instagram, kind of a mixture of Instagram and Facebook. Facebook's more like community driven, but this is kind of the professional polished look of it. We want clean, minimalistic layouts, business friendly fonts, things like that. Like the fonts that we talked about before, like a Lotto font or a Monstrat font for Nana, things like that. So think of that like just very clean, very precise. Infographics, charts, and overlays, text overlays. So right here, we've illustrated that we've been hiring. This is one of our new team members that we welcome to our team. And again, I just wanted to put up the pixels for the post. So this is the feed post, which is again, your landing page when you go onto LinkedIn. Then we have our LinkedIn article cover, same thing, again, with the cover. When you go into your landing page, you have the cover on the background. It's a little graphic. That is the background page. And then we have our banner. And to illustrate a little bit more about how the posts are received, we have our Facebook post versus our Instagram post. So this is the same exact graphic. This has been designed in Canva. As you can see, our little logos right here. But when you take our Facebook post and you post it on Instagram with the square version, it cuts it off. So please keep that in mind when you're making your posts. And this is why the pixels have so many things to do with themselves for as far as formatting goes. So really keep that in mind. Some designs you can do that. Just go ahead and place them across all platforms, but just keep an eye on that when you're designing.
Okay, and now basically this is just an example of how to show storytelling through community impact highlights. And so just keeping in mind everything that Erica has showed us so far in the presentation. As you can see, there's only two fonts being used on this page. You have your headers and then you have the body. This is actually a story from our neighbor Share. So it's like stories about community members who have received services through the CAPC. So just like Erica said, another success story. It's really amazing that our CAPC has those to share with the community. And so through storytelling, through graphics, through design, we're able to tell this very powerful story about Tracy and about her son. And just give you a little glimpse into what the CAPC of San Joaquin has done for them. And then in turn, we take elements, language, our branding, and our logo. And so we pulled all of that from that story and then tied everything else, like the fonts and all our other little tips and tricks to create 3 to 4 different graphics for social media for based on our annual appeal story. So we do this at the end of the year, and this is the way for us to get those extra donations to fund the programs that are never fully funded. And so Erica and I just collaborated on this, and we just thought, well, we don't want our donors and our supporters to constantly see the same graphic with the same story, right? So we pulled our logo, we pulled our colors, we pulled elements from that story to create something that invokes emotion, just like Erica said, right? We're trying to pull on people's heartstrings. So we were able to do that and then create a little like donate, click here, learn more, using all of those things and pulling in the design element too, instead of just having like a click here in typography. We actually added in like a donate button so that people can interact with the graphic that we created.
Thank you, Deja. Okay, so I bet you guys didn't think that you guys were gonna have a little test, but you are. Just wanted to pull this in as an example. In talking about formatting and colors and things like that, I wanted to show you guys the two differences between these billboards. We have this billboard that's gonna be coming up, let me see, I believe in September. So these will be all over San Joaquin County. But what is gonna catch your attention? Really keep this in mind. Is it the black background or the blue background? And we're talking about a billboard. So these are going to be when people are going to be driving. And this is against sky. So really, we're going to make our choice based off of what's going to catch your attention, what's going to grab you, what is going to make you look up for that 1.2 seconds when you're driving home. If you answered the black one, you are correct. So we wanted to just kind of illustrate that for you. Just to keep that in mind throughout all platforms.
Okay, so again, just going back to, we're going to recap, think of all the great things that Erica showed us. We're going to think about typography, we're going to think about branding, we're going to think about colors, right? And how does that look when we actually apply it to our email and our newsletter design? So first and foremost, the people need to know who is sending them the email, what the subject is, just clear, concise, to the point. We want them to click on it. So we're getting ready to show you an example of our April newsletter, and April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. So we thought this would be a really good example to show you. So we just put a CAPC April newsletter, April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. It's coming from us, the CAPC. Then next is the top of the newsletter. And so using that really big, bold font in your face, April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. We want you to see it. We want you to know. Taking in all the colors. So we use the different colors of blue because blue is the color for Child Abuse Prevention Month. So we wanted to really highlight that. In the picture on the right is our calendar that we have every year for Child Abuse Prevention Month. Next month, you'll be able to find it on our website at nochildabuse.org. But essentially, this is just a way for people to stay up to date, stay engaged, stay on top of resources during the month of April. And so we do send it out to all of our donors, supporters, community members, put it on our website, put it on our social media. We want it everywhere. And then right below that is just kind of like what's going on at the CAPC during the month of April. And so even though all year round Erica and I are doing pinwheels for prevention, we like to really highlight it during the month of April because we want schools to book us. So there is just like a cute little fun graphic that Erica created in Canva, and mostly all the stuff that you've seen so far was created in Canva. And then I'm just uploading that into Constant Contact. That's what works best for us. Instead of just having, color blocked schemes, we like to really show the design element in our newsletter. And so, with that being said, we also made this other really cute graphic for Collins Electric. So it is one of our community supporters, and every year during the month of April, they light their agency up blue. And so by highlighting them, we're able to show other nonprofits or other agencies, other businesses like, hey, you can go blue too for the month of April, and we would love to shout you out. And so this is just a really cool and fun way to just let people know that how they can get involved and support our cause as well. And then we wouldn't be marketing right if we didn't end our newsletter with a way for you to donate and a way for you to connect with us here at the CAPC. And so during April, we do participate in 209 Gives. And so we just like to highlight, like, hey, if you're interested in donating to the Child Abuse Prevention Council, here are 2 ways that you can do that. And the other one is just a general donation, but we used a heart and a blue heart at that because, again, we're trying to pull on people's heartstrings, invoke that emotion, and get people to really invest in what we're doing here at the CAPC. And then just, again, remembering all the things that we've showed you. And when you look at these 2 flyers right here, these are for events that happen at the CAPC. Again, very on brand, still using our color scheme, pulling colors from our logo. And so the one on the right is for our Casa Superhero Run, and that happens in September. And we're just using the Casa logo, we're highlighting our community partners, again, just showing all those really fun colors. And then the one on the left is our Walk for Life flyer, and that is an event to just honor people who have died by suicide. And so we're using the program colors for that, and also the yellow ribbon, pulling all those different yellows, but also still staying on brand with the CAPC. And right here is just another example of using a graphic and using design to invoke emotion in our supporters, community members. And so we participated in the Giving Tuesday campaign as well. And we wanted to really highlight our CASA program during this time. So we just made a quick little blurb about how you can donate to the Child Abuse Prevention Council or even become a volunteer for the CASA program. And so we'll just show you what happens if you click Give Today, then you end up on our landing page. And right there, you're able to decide if you would like to make a one-time donation, a reoccurring donation. But essentially, before you even get there, we're just using that picture of the little girl and just really trying to let people know, like, hey, we could use your support here at the CAPC. And if you didn't get to watch our first webinar, I just want to put this out there again. we understand that everyone may not have a team of two like us, so please just use what you can and do what works best for you. This works best for us. I'm really lucky that I have Erica because she can make graphics really quick and I'm able to just pop them in a constant contact. And use my friend Chat GPT to help us get those really cool, quick, and concise captions. But if you don't have that capability and it's just you, please use what you can and do what you can. We just want you to be the best version of yourself, but don't overwhelm yourself with too much. So just want to throw
Love
that
that message. Yes, Deja.
out.
All of that good stuff. Yes. Be the best version of yourself. Do what you can. Hopefully we give you some tips along the way with all of this webinar series, but thank you so much for that, Deja. And so now we see all the different platforms. Let's get into a Canva tutorial. Let's get into it. So I'm going to exit out of our presentation mode and pop on over to Canva. And we are going to make a live graphic before we post it. So please bear with me because I'm art savvy, not tech savvy. So hold just a moment. Ooh, show. Okay, yes, and I love Lucy, so let me just bring that over here. All right, so let's see. Let me get it onto a different so I could see what I'm doing here. Please hold tight. Thank you so much. Over here. All right. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, so we're gonna do. Okay, everyone could see my screen, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. And go ahead and bring in our Canva. So we're gonna be designing. April 4th is Wear Blue Day, okay? So let me go ahead and bring up. We have our captions. So we generated these captions by Googling, and like Deja said, we use our friend Chat GTP. So we want to just kind of give me a headline, call to action. We want to just kind of bring this out, give us a little brainstorm of what we want our graphic to say, what's the feeling. And then in addition to our graphic, we're going to get a couple of social media captions. So now that we have all these ready to go, we want to kind of concentrate on Wear Blue Day, which is April 4th. So go ahead and get this out of the way. Okay. So this is Canva. If you are not too familiar with this, we're going to go ahead and think of it like a blank canvas and you are the artist. So we're going to go into design, elements. Okay, so for the background, I want a blue background. So we're going to go ahead and go into blue background. Since the color is blue, we want to concentrate on that. As you can see right here, we have all graphics, photos. So we want to go ahead and get a fun graphic here for a background. Now that we have our background graphic, as you can see, it's not filling up the whole plate, right? It's not filling up the canvas. We're gonna select it, which is you click on it and you see these purple outlines happening. You're gonna right click in the middle. Go to set image as background and watch the magic happen. Boom. Now this is your background, okay? And because we have wear blue, excuse me. I'm thinking of a t-shirt, just kind of have a t-shirt graphic for it. So we're gonna go ahead and go into t-shirt. Okay. Get into the graphics area, go into see all. And then choose just a plain t-shirt. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this one. And really the cool thing about it is when you get a graphic, you can change the colors. It's not the color I want. And when you click on this, which is when it's outlined, you see these colors appearing up here. These are the two main colors of the graphic. So I want to change this white color to a darker blue color, okay? We're going to go and press this button right here. And then find like a darker blue color. Boom, there we go, like magic. Now we're going to get into the outline color, which is a black color. I want that to be kind of like a lighter blue color. Okay, so we're going to click that color over here and then get into a light blue. Perfect. That is the t-shirt that I want. Well, it's too small for the graphic. So what I'm going to do is hold down this little section right here. You see these little 4 dots. That means you could do this with it. Be very strategic with your sizing. And as you're moving things around, you'll see these little kind of squares and lines pop up. That is Canva thinking for you. That is alignment. So right here, as you can see, it's kind of like a little bullseye. That is right in the middle of the screen. That is right in the middle of your design, okay? So you want to keep that there. You want to keep that element there. Now, on my t-shirt, I want to add a graphic, or excuse me, kind of like a wording to go onto the t-shirt. So I'm going to go into my text area right over here. You could do heading, subheading. It already kind of thinks for you. So we want to put April 4th is right here. Still a little bit too big. So I'm going to take our pointer again and go into the little circles to resize. Resize it into the shoulder blades right here. And you know what? It's not popping enough for me. So what I'm going to do, select our text. And then right up here, these are your tools. So this is where your fonts are right here. And like I said, Canva already kind of does the thinking for you. So we have handwriting, corporate, displays, but I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to keep it on Canva Sans. Like we learned earlier, it's sans serif. So there's nothing too fancy or crazy about it. But I do want it to be in all caps. And instead of going back and retyping with my all caps button, I'm going to have it selected and then go right up here. There's bold, there's italics, there's underline, there's a strike through, but we want uppercase. So magically, boom, April 4th is, okay, that's going to be kind of like our little tagline. Again, we're going to resize it to fit into the shoulder blades to make it look more appealing. And you know what? It's still not popping enough for me. So I'm going to go ahead and change the color of the text. So right up here where it has this little A, and the little rainbow underneath it, we're going to change this to white. There we go. We're going to get another heading. And we're going to say where blue day. Switch it out a little bit. And when you're doing these designs, just really keep in mind that you want it to engage. So that is our goal. As of right here, these two fonts, the two squares, they have the same font. We want to kind of up it a little bit, select the whole box, and I'm going to go ahead and get into, there we go. a different font, an eye-catching font. Spread that out a little bit. And if you notice, the spacing is kind of off. It has really big spacing in between. So that could be easily adjusted. You could select your text here, go into spacing, and it's really easy for you because it tells you right when you get to the point what it is. So list, this is the spacing right here. You can either do the letter spacing, keep it the same, but we want to change up the line spacing, okay? So we want to take it up a little bit. Perfect. Now we want to resize this a little bit more. And this is kind of a thing that I do. I just kind of click off so I could see the whole design in its entirety. And I really like where it's going here. So instead of just having all white text here, we want to highlight blue. And you could do that. You can have different colors within your text. Go into your text color. We want to highlight that color blue. There we go. April 4th is Wear Blue Day. Now that is our call to action. So we want to select all of this. And when you drag everything, you drag your mouse, I'm going to show you again, you just hold down your mouse as you're dragging and it highlights everything for you. Okay. So that means everything is selected. You see these little boxes. You can move it all around. Okay. So we're just going to kind of move that up a little bit, because this is a really good graphic, but we still need a little bit more. We want to put our logo, another tagline underneath it. So what we're going to do here is go into elements, and it gives you all kinds of different shapes here, all your basic shapes. We want to go ahead and add a little bar at the bottom just to highlight our logo. We're going to add a square. And you can do this shape to whatever you'd like to block. Okay. So we're going to add that to the bottom. Let me go ahead and bring in our logo. I think we need, so we have our black and our white logo. The white is going to pop on top of the blue. I'm already keeping that in mind because the black is going to get kind of lost in the blue background. So I'm going to pop that into it. So if you have graphics or a logo, just keep that. Basically, I keep mine on my desktop so I could always drag and drop if need be. Something that you're always going to be using. And I also want to point out to be very careful when you resize, because we want to make it smaller, but when you grab this part, it'll erase things, okay? So we want to make sure, see? So then it gets bigger if you do it that way. When you go onto the line part, okay? We want to stick with the circle parts at the top. They're kind of like your anchor points. So you're going to grab this, and it's just a simple grab with your mouse. You're going to drag it down to the size that you want. Okay. And now we want to center that. So like I said before, the guides will tell you where you're centering. But just in case you feel a little off, you can go ahead and select everything. Okay. You go to position. And you can make sure that they are positioned in the way you need them to be. So we want everything in the center of our graphic. You're going to hit center and boom, everything gets aligned. You are perfect. You are ready to go. Now we want to say on the bottom of the tagline to kind of coincide with our message. Smaller. We want to say stand up. Speak out. Wear blue. As you can see, it kind of already went into the bottom. So that's where it's going to stay if you leave it there. It's a little bit too big. So what we're going to do is stretch this out. The text is a little bit big still. So we could go over here into where it says font size, and you could either decrease font size, increase it, or you could do it manually. Say we're at 55 right now, you want to keep the numbers in mind, and maybe you want to see what a 30 looks like. So you could just manually type in 30, hit return, and now we're a little bit smaller. Now I want these to be all caps as well, so I'm going to go in, have this highlighted, uppercase, there we go. And as you're doing this, you can go ahead and increase your font size. Take up the whole page, there we go. Actually, right underneath the t-shirt, okay. Now again, I want to concentrate on wearing blue, so we want to highlight blue again, like we did in our shirt. It's a little bit too light, it's blending in, so we want to try a different blue, maybe a darker one. There we go. Really great, simple graphic. And because we do our pinwheels for prevention, I'd like to bring in a couple of pinwheels. Now it's also a symbol of, great childhood. So we want to put a little fun element in there. We want to stand up, speak out, wear blue. So I'm going to search for pinwheels. Or pinwheel. And then go into see all. And the pinwheel I'd like to grab. I want like a bluish pinwheel. So we could do a nice little simple one that says blue, light blue, and black. We'll go ahead and drag that into our design here. Okay, adjust the text a little bit. And then another one. Adjust it down, and you see how that little line pops up on top of the pinwheel? That means it's aligning with the other one. So now that you have adjusted the size, this graphic is ready to go. In order to download this graphic, you're going to hit share. You're going to hit download. And when you're doing a post throughout your social medias, PNG is a great file. Also JPEG, that is one that's people are more familiar with. So you could do either one of these. Best for complex images and illustrations. So we're going to keep it at PNG. You don't want to highlight all of the pages. You just want the one that we worked on. So we're going to deselect, select all, and we're going to go on to current page. And you're going to hit done. And then you're going to hit download.
Erica, could I add something really quick?
Absolutely, yes.
If you guys notice too, when she clicked share, that it shows you the pixels that she mentioned earlier. So under share, like it shows you the size. And yeah, when you click download, and it shows you those pixels right there too. So if you ever forget, then that's just something to keep in mind too. So right there, you can see what the size is that she was mentioning in those previous slides.
Thank you for that. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay, so just wanted to do that. All right, you guys, let me go ahead and go back to the presentation. I'm going to stop sharing and get into the presentation again. Oh. Okay.
Hi, Yadira. Yes, while we are setting up.
Okay, I just had a quick question. So I noticed you guys were navigating the Canva. Like, let's say for that, I know you showed the image where the little bars on top and the bottom, not to move them because it's gonna delete some of the image.
Mhm.
So like for example, I know for shapes, like if I want to get like under the elements, there's the shapes option. And if I want to input one of the shapes, but I only want like a part of the shape showing, I noticed for some of the shapes, it doesn't give me that option to move the little lines back and forth to delete part of the shape. When I do that, it just resizes the shape. So how can I go about that? Like, would I have to,
So
uh,
if you want like, say like a hexagon, or like, are you talking about like if you want a triangle but half the triangle?
correct.
Okay. Um, the best thing to do, well, okay, so Canva doesn't really give you that option to manipulate shapes that way.
I noticed that.
Yeah, it doesn't give you that option, so you kind of have to finagle when you are doing that. So if you want a part of it, my suggestion would be to go onto your canvas that you're working on and
Mm.
kind of drag it off of the canvas, however you want it to look. I know,
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's the only real option to do like half shapes. To get more intricate and like shaping and like dismantling things, you would have
Uh-huh.
to kind of get into like more Illustrator work area, because that'll give you like what's called pen points, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. So then it would be either um hiding that part of the shape behind another
yes,
color
yes.
or
Do you
dragging
want
it
me, you
in
know
a
what, I can go
Mhm.
ahead and go into Canva and give you like a little demonstration if you'd like.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
that would
okay.
be
Let
helpful.
me go ahead and um, do that. Hold on just a moment. Okay. Let me share the screen again. Excuse me. Okay. All right, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so let's think of triangle. So what I'm thinking is this is what you would like. So something off of like you would want half this triangle, right?
Correct. Where I just kind of want like the bottom part of the pyramid looking.
Okay. So what you could do in this, so what I mean by finagle is what I would do is flip it.
Mm-hmm.
So this little part down here, this is
Yeah,
like your little rotation tool. I would
correct.
flip it if you just want the bottom part, right? And then
Yes.
just kind of go into your design this way.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
but there would be no way of putting it in the middle of the image.
And no,
Yeah, okay.
well, okay.
Unless you hide it with another
If
shape
you,
on
yes,
top.
so
Okay.
exactly. So if you want to do something like that, this is a regular triangle. So now you obviously your background is white. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
do this. You can go ahead and do something like this. Get another shape,
Put
extend
it.
it out, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. This is just a very simple tutorial. But choose the color of what you have in your background. So you're gonna have it white, and then there we go. And then do the
Oh,
designing on top of that. You know what I mean? Does that
yes.
make a little
Okay.
bit more sense?
Yes, it does. Oh, thank you
Okay.
so much. That was
Yes,
really
of
helpful.
course. And
Thank
then
you.
so when you're doing that, just make sure the background, like this is probably for more simple design. This is case by case. But
Mm-hmm.
just really make sure that the background is matching. Print it out for yourself before, if it's like print versus web, because even if it's like a shade lighter or darker, you're gonna see like the triangle below. So I want to make
Okay.
sure that you know that like it's the same exact color that we're working with. So
Okay,
let me give you an
perfect.
example of that. So this is gonna be the same thing. So it's immersed in it, but now like a shade lighter or darker. See what I mean? Like you'll see the little line there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you want to
Okay.
make sure that the background and the foreground is the same exact color.
Oh, okay.
I love that question. Thank you.
Okay. No, thank you. It was
Yeah,
really helpful.
absolutely.
Yeah, that square box is like our best friend. When I first started with the CAPC, and I would ask that question a lot too, like, oh, like should I layer the elements or like what should I do? And yeah, the square box is a really good tool to use if you're trying to hide things, or maybe you have a logo that isn't transparent. That is
Hmm.
also very helpful too. That square box is everything.
Okay. Thank you so much for that demo. It really helped. Right now I'm working on a graphic and I'm doing the the stop sign looking shape.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and I'm trying to only do it up to a certain level. So it's uh, but it's like splat in the middle of the image. So
Yeah.
it's kind of hard for I've been trying to figure out how to like crop the top part and it just hasn't been working out for me. So thank you. I feel like this will definitely help.
Yes, I'm so happy. If you don't mind, I'd like to see the graphic when it's finalized. If you want to email me because I want to see what you did.
Oh, do you, can I share my screen?
I'm not sure. Can she, Serena?
Yes,
She
it's
should be able
available.
to.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So this is what I'm working on. And this is the part that I was kind of
Oh my
struggling
God,
with.
yes, yes.
So we have a QR code that we share out and it has a resource drive.
Uh-huh.
So we share it out to our community partners. We put it on our social media. And when you scan the QR code or you go into that bit.ly link, it'll direct you to a Google Drive. And in that Google Drive, it has flyers of different community events going on throughout our county for the month of April. So, and
This
then
is fantastic, by the way.
my goal is to kind of do it a little bit of somewhat looking like a pinwheel and then
Uh-huh.
having this image in the middle of the family, like happy family. But I
Yes.
think what I'm trying to do now is um, I'm gonna work on getting this image in the middle if I can
That's
figure
fantastic.
out.
Okay, yeah, and you can kind of model it after that. So a
Yeah.
tip also that I like to do is always duplicate whatever you're working on. Okay,
Hmm.
so with this has a lot going on. You don't want to lose your formatting, especially when you're
So just go on here on the duplicate.
yeah, go
Okay.
duplicate or you could go into yeah, go into the duplicate. I'm sorry, go ahead. You're good on that. Just
Oh
so
no.
that you have what you worked on already and you
Hmm.
pull elements into the new design or whatever, just so that you have your basic design already formulated and you could try out different colors and schemes like that. That's just a cool little tip that I do.
Okay. See, and my idea was kind of getting I was thinking of doing well, so for this one, you know how I put this one in the middle, this shape, um,
Yes.
to duplicate the size, like now I want to do like a frame for it. So, and I want to say it's probably this one, if I'm not mistaken. I think
Okay.
it is. So I, how do I duplicate the size of this to
Okay,
this?
so right there, you pull down on that little bar. You need to
Mhm.
pull down on those circles because now it's going to be split.
Oh,
Okay, so if you want
mhm.
to pull another one down again, just to see, like you can get rid of that.
Oh, get rid of this one.
Yeah, get rid of that one.
Okay,
Okay, now pull the other, yep,
the frame.
shape, uh-huh. So now go into where, not the bar, but the little circles.
Circles.
They're like your little anchor points. No, 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 right there. Yeah,
These.
you got it. Mm-hmm. Now
Okay.
drag it down. Now you're gonna resize it in its entirety.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes. So then I
Okay.
just kind of have to check what this one was, right? And how do
Yes.
I check it without changing the shape?
So you want to check, well, put it on top of it just to kind of layer on
Oh.
top and then formulate your shape that way. So now you could pull on those bars a little bit. Those bars
Hmm.
are going to distort your shape. Okay. Those bars on the side. right there. Okay, so it's gonna
Okay.
distort it a little. There you go. So you just kind of play around and finagle it that way. You got
Okay, there's no way
Yep.
of knowing the exact
um
sizing.
the
Oh,
exact sizing. Let me see.
It showed up when you pulled it in that little black box at the bottom.
mm-hmm.
Like pull it again. That's your
Yeah,
size.
right there. Width 270
Mm.
and then height 192.
Oh, okay.
You see that?
And then this one, in order for me to know this size without changing it, that's kind of what I meant. Like, how would I know the size of this shape if I want to copy it and make it
Click
into
on
this
that
shape?
bar again. Click on the, yep, on the, how Deja said, like it pulls it up really quickly in the little black area. Go
Oh,
onto the
but I
bar.
have to, but I actually have to move it, right? In order for me to keep
I'm
it,
not,
or
I don't think so.
because I tried keeping
Hi
it
there.
right. Yeah.
This is Chase from Yolo County Children's Alliance. So if you go to the element that you want, so go ahead
Mhm.
and highlight which one you want. So remove that completely and go back to the original element. Now
This
click
one,
it. Now above, you're going to see that third icon directly in the middle.
the duplicate.
Duplicate. Click it.
Okay.
It recreates the exact same shape that you need. So that
hmm
way it could just be uniform throughout. Is that what we're trying to do?
No, what I'm trying to do is duplicate this size out of this frame. Like make this frame into the same exact size as this without like by how would I know the size of this shape, this blue one that I'm kind of moving around?
Mhm.
That way without having to like layer it on top and then kind of just put it on top and just kind of play with it. Does it make any sense? Like how do I know
I don't
the
think it
shape of
just
this
gives you the dimensions. I'm not,
unless I move it, right? Unless I
Yes,
start
unless
doing
unless it has movement.
264,
You
Like if
move
you
it, it'll
copy
199.
them
start
right
showing you
there.
the dimensions.
Mhm.
If you're looking for it to just be kind of like a blank slate, like you
hmm
can go back and like remove the color that you have to kind of just show that like blank canvas that it usually does. Are you trying to like keep that so you can use it throughout like your brand kit?
Mm, like if I were to want to do it like that, yes. Like if I wanted to use this shape for other images, there's no
Right.
way.
So you should be able to collect that as like an
hmm
actual brand kit, like put it into your brand kit as well. There's an element section of your brand that'll allow kind of how we can upload like our photos, we can like put our fonts in. There is a section that allows you to have like certain like shapes and objects. You would
hmm
basically just need to go to your brand kit. And I think it's almost as simple as like you can just copy the actual element,
hmm
like copy, and then you can like paste that into where you need it to be.
Okay.
I use Adobe a little bit more than Canva, so I'm sorry, I totally misunderstood what like the main goal was. So I might not be the
hmm
best person for it, but
Oh, no, no, no
I
worries.
believe that's how we've done it in the past with Canva. So if you go to like brands and then you go to the brand that you want, so say you have like a
hmm
specific CAPC,
Okay.
uh, like brand kit, there should be a spot towards the bottom that reads elements, and you should be able to like include whatever elements you want from shapes to banners.
hmm
You could even like the QR code obviously can live there as an image as well.
So kind of
That's
like the
what
uploads.
exactly. It's
Oh,
more
okay.
accessible through the main page. So like if you were to open another tab and click home,
hmm
it gives a more in-depth look at your branding toolkits.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Perfect. I really hope that was helpful. I do have to jump into
Yeah.
another meeting. Thank you guys so much for a wonderful presentation today. I really
Thank you
enjoyed
so
it.
much. And thank
Thank
you for
you.
your input. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, thank you for all your help. I feel like it was really helpful with navigating and figuring out the shaping because I I was just trying to get it to be the same shape on the middle as it is on the other ones around without um without it kind of looking odd. So I think, your answers were really helpful. Thank you.
yeah. I seen there's another question, but I know we're a little over time, but there's another question about constant contact.
Yes.
Do we still have time to answer that?
Sure, go ahead. I think
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Anna, I see your question. I'm not sure what you're asking, but I design like the elements. Let me try to see if I could share my screen now so I can show you constant contact. But I build it out in Canva and then I upload it, and people are still able to scroll. So I
Okay,
don't.
because in mine, I can't do that. If you show me yours, I will show you mine.
Okay, let's
Thank
see.
you.
Yeah, I'm logging in a constant contact right now, and then I will show you. Okay. Thanks everyone for being patient. Okay. So how do I share my screen?
Deja, there's a button on the bottom of your Zoom toolbar that's green and click share.
Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so let me go to this right here. Okay. So this is the April newsletter that I'm currently working on right now. I copy and pasted the layout from last year because I'll use the same layout, but I'll just update everything. And so this was created in Canva right here. I just uploaded the PNG form of that, and then I put in like a button. I created this in Constant Contact. So I'm using both. I'm using their built-in editor, and then I'm using also graphics from Canva as well. These were images that I uploaded, so this is also made in Constant Contact. This was made in Constant Contact. I just did the colors exactly the same, so it looks like one entire graphic. And then again, this was created in Constant Contact. I just popped that in, but people are still able to scroll like this all the way down. And then everything is linked. So this is linked to our donate page. This is linked to well, this one isn't linked. Yes, it is right here to 209 Gives. This one is linked to our Lisa Project website as well as this one. And then this is linked to a video. So people are able to engage and click on things and still scroll. Let me go back to just the viewing of it. So if I was to just view it, like this is being sent to me, I would be able to scroll like this. Are you not capable of doing that?
No, mine. So if I import it, it will just do it as a PDF, kind of.
Oh yeah, so you have to save it as a PNG.
Okay,
So your
maybe that's.
graphics have to be saved as a PNG in Canva and then upload it. It will not allow you to upload PDFs. It'll take you to the PDF. Like I only upload a PDF if I want people to fill out a form.
Okay, so maybe that could be it.
Yeah. So you want to download just like how Erica showed us the share button. When you click the share, you want to click PNG, not PDF.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. We have any more constant contact questions? Okay,
We're
I'm
good.
gonna stop sharing my screen now. Okay.
Okay, thank you for that, Deja. She's our guru around here. Around these parts.
I try.
Let me just go ahead and share my screen. We're at the end of our presentation, but we just wanted to, yeah, put out our contact information. I wanted to make sure and remind you, this is our second part of our 3-part series. And I know Nathaniel has been putting in all kinds of lovely information into our chat. So thank you so much for that, Nathaniel. Please take the survey. Wanted to remind you, the webinar, our final installment will be on June 24th. So please stop by with that and enjoy the recording if you were here. And I love doing this. It's so great. It's so fantastic.
Yes, thank you, everyone. We really appreciate you guys just continuing to come back and tune in and ask questions. Those were great questions, and I hope we were able to, you know, give you something that you didn't already have. So, thanks.
Little tips and tricks.
Well, thank you to
Thank you,
Erica
Jen.
and Deja for sharing your expertise with all of the child abuse prevention folks who want to learn more about marketing and social media. So we hope to see everyone on June 24th. We will go ahead and share the recording with all those that registered, and please feel free to share it with your colleagues. So we hope everyone has a wonderful afternoon, and we will see you in June.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.